All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, give an honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Give a double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. And give a double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, I want to go into a discussion today. I want to start talking about some current events and things of this nature. I was looking at the news today, and they was talking about how Donald Trump has put fear in the country because of the tariffs that he has administered on China and the neighboring countries that's around about that basically don't want to pay they don't want to pay their fair share of taxes that America says that is owed to them, right? And basically all that is what you would call an extortion move. See, you see my man, don't nobody really know, he's the leader of the Crips. He goes by the name of Big U. And Big U made his bones going around extorting people, right? And he was saying, like, he said on his video, he said, look, basically, if we ask you for money and you don't want to give us no money, we going to make it hard for you. And this is the same tactic that America is using on these countries. It's because China, Japan, all these different, the so-called Middle Eastern countries, they have all built themselves off the back of the Euro-Caucasians. And now the Euro-Caucasians see them as a threat to America's rule in the earth, especially China, especially Russia, see? And now you see President Trump putting tariffs on the countries to try to weaken the countries to a certain extent where America can maintain her rule over these countries. But see, what she doesn't understand is that this stuff that's going on between in the affairs of man, this is all ordained by the Most High. And see, what we're really looking at the dismantling and the separation of America and the destruction of the Euro-Gentile world power system. This is what we're looking at. Because all countries, all nations, and all tongues have drunk from the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Well, a lot of you cats, see, you don't believe that this system is going to be destroyed. I saw a so-called black man, and that's very interesting. But it's not. It's because, see, we don't have a language, we don't have a culture, we don't have a heritage, right? So what we do is we attach ourselves to other people's cultures, right? Other people's languages and other people's heritages. So I saw a so-called black man that is a supporter of Donald Trump. He made a statement. He said, look, he was breaking down why Donald Trump is putting tariffs on the country. And basically that's a great thing, is because we need to bring back jobs, and we need to bring back power and stuff back to America, right? But see, what they don't understand is that just because you see America shaking up the stock exchange and all this type of stuff. China is looking to make a deal and things of this nature. Just because you seeing all this stuff doesn't mean that America is going to last long. Because when you at war, war goes up and down. One time, one country could be in they could be in the lead of winning, and then next thing you know, the other countries could be in the lead of winning. This is why I believe World War One. I think it lasted for 4 years. See, that's a long time. World War One, I believe it lasted for 4 years. So within those 4 years, it was a seesaw battle. And that's what's going on now. America owes, I think, $36 or $37 trillion in debt. They're $37 trillion in debt, I believe. This is how you know that the country is on our way out. The economical system is at an all-time low. The women and the men is at an all-time low. There's no righteousness in the country. So the so-called black man, he wants to wear the MAGA hat, make America great again. But when was America great again? The only time that we look at her in her glory time is when she had her foot on the so-called black man's neck. Right? Well, she was proud to be a racist, both Democrat and Republican. See, this is when America was great again. But see, this is the mindset of the people, right? Let's turn to something real quick. Let's turn to the 49th chapter of the book of Psalms real quick. And then we're going to go into some more scriptures, and then we're going to get on up out of here. Let's look at this. Let's turn to the 49th chapter of the book of Psalms, 49 and 11, right? Psalms 49 and 11. Let's take it this. Psalms, the 49th chapter and 11th verse, it says their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever. This is the mindset of the Gentiles that's in power, the Euro Gentiles that's in power today. See, whatever America goes through, they're gonna come up out of it. But they're not coming up out of this. It's because this is ordained by the Most High. It's because these people are what you would call the bases of men. They don't care about human life. See, they don't care about the planet. And see, now that I'm looking at it, why would we continue? Now, we understand that you have to use the system to the best of your ability because you live here. But why would you want to follow a country that is destroying the food on purpose? Why would you want to follow a group of people that when they be elected into these high office of power, they lie to the people? See, they give the super rich whatever they want, and they squeeze the money and the power and all this type of stuff up out of the poor. Why would you want to follow something like that? Why would the so-called black man in America still be trying to make America great again? When America was great, she was kidnapping your little brother and feeding him to alligators. This is when America was great. When she was proud to be a racist. When she had our people strung up on trees. When they set up Jim Crow laws in the country. When they said that the black man was a savage that lived in a jungle of a subhuman level. This is when America was great again. When they spat on your grandmama. They spit on your grandfather. This is when America was great again. So the 49th chapter, 11th verse said their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue. What is that talking about? White supremacy, brothers and sisters. Their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They shall call their lands after their own name. See, they want to continue the same mindset that Christopher Columbus had when he came over here, pushing Christianity in one breath, but in another breath, he's doing what? He's conquering and enslaving the people. This is when America was great again. Why would you want to follow somebody that when they take over your neighborhood, they build up houses and things of this nature, and they purposely go up on the taxes so that they can remove you out of the neighborhood? Why would we want to follow people like this? We follow people like this is because we don't know who we are as a people, but we are about to find out who we are. Let's look at the 13th chapter of the book of Isaiah, and I'm gonna start reading. At the 9th verse. It says, "How ye, for the day of Yah is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty." So when we looking at these countries continue to point their missiles at each other, this is the judgment from the Creator. Because a lot of these folks is finna be combustible carbon. They finna be wiped off the face of the map. Let's look at this. It says, "How ye, for the day of Yah is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." See, it's gonna be grave fear. And on a low level, this is what we dealing with today. This is why you see people stocking up on food and all this type of stuff, because they in fear. They scared that the country, because they paying attention to the events that's taking place on the world stage, they are afraid that the country is about to go to war. And not just any type of war. It's finna be what? A nuclear war, y'all. This is what they scared of. It says, "And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames." See? Because why? See, when they looking at the stock prices going down, this is pains and sorrow. That's why Trump had to take an intermission, a 90-day intermission, because the food prices went up some more. They saw the Dow Jones drop 44,000 points or something like that. These people are in grave fear. And see, when the country starts to lose their grip on everything, then what happens? They go rogue, y'all. But see, look at what we doing. We worried about Dancing with the Stars, the Kardashians, all this type of stuff. We're not looking at the events that's taking place on the world stage. We can't wait till the summertime so we can go to the beach and show off our new bodies that we've been working on during the winter. See, we can't wait till the summer until we can wear our good clothes and we don't have to wear a bunch of cloth like we had to do in the winter. So we can pop out in our new Ferraris and all this type of stuff. But it's going to come a time where you ain't going to be able to drive your car. Because this war that's going to take place is going to be taking place both air, land, and sea. Just like America has satellites in the sky, China has satellites in the sky. Russia has satellites in the sky. All the elites that is sovereigns, meaning that they control the ground that they walk on, they got satellites in the air. And what does that mean? That means that China, that means that Russia, they can do something where they can cut out the lights in this country. And then what are we going to do then? Because people is not going to band together. They're going to turn into savages. They're going to be looking for opportunities to take advantage of the weak. It says, and they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, and their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. See, this is what's going on. This is what's finna take place. This is what's taking place. This is why America want to go over there to Greenland and Canada. It's because they want to absorb these neighboring countries because they understand that they're finna go into a war with Russia and China, y'all, and their allies. This is why Donald Trump, whether we do it during his administration or after he leaves, he's setting the stages so that we can go into a physical aspect of the Third World War, which we already embarking on right now. What do you think that the trade situation is about? It's war. They are at war with China. They're at war with Russia. They are at war with their own selves. Canada, I believe, is a part of quote unquote NATO. She's at war with them. She's at war with other countries because she say that the other countries don't want to respect the rule of America. See, they like, y'all want to use our military and all this type of stuff, but you don't want to pay taxes. So one of the ways for America to squeeze the other countries is that they say, what? We're not going to continue to fund y'all anymore until y'all start paying on y'all debt. See? You got to check in. And if you don't want to do the checking in, then we ain't got nothing for you when the wolves come and get you. This is her absorbing these countries that are not basically strong enough to go against Russia. See, these European countries that's over there, that's a part of the European Union, a lot of them are not strong to go against Russia. Do you see the situation that's happening with Ukraine? But see, we can't see that is because, see, we still in our glow. See, when you're in your glow, can't nobody tell you nothing. That's why America got to be broken down. See, when the so-called white man really, truly say he's sorry for what he has done, the critic got to break him down just like he broke down Nebuchadnezzar. See, America hasn't been broken down like Nebuchadnezzar was broken down, where he had a nervous breakdown and he was in the grass eating straw, eating grass like hay, and he grew all this nasty hair and he had nasty fingernails. See? And the Most High gave him a beast man. See, this is what's finna happen to America. And it says, behold, the day of Yah cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, and lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And what is that symbolic of? The sun and the moon is symbolic of what? The so-called white man and the so-called white woman. They don't have influence in the earth anymore. People don't really want to be like them anymore. They have lost their status in the affairs of men. Now, we do understand that one of the concepts of the scripture is that it's going to be what? Catastrophic war that's going to be taking place in the affairs of men. This is why they trying to fight so hard not to go to war with each other, because this third world war that's going to take place, the people are going to be dying in the billions. They're going to be dying in the billions. And the people that's left over, that the Creator don't allow to die off, they're going to suffer. Only one that's going to be saved is the remnant, which is the nation of Israel and the other nations that have associated themselves with Israel. And it says, one second. Okay, it says 11 verse, and I will punish the world for their evil. What was their evil? See, look, y'all, these colleges that we go to, these are nothing but colonial think tanks. They set up a racial situation in the country. They still have it even to this day. They haven't repented from that. And I will punish the world for their evil, because why? All of these folks, the Palestinians, they mad. But they too have put their foot on the nation of Israel's neck, the so-called black man, along with the other nations. And the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and lay hold the haughtiness of the terrible. And this is what we're seeing today, brothers and sisters. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Even a man, it says, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. How is he going to shake the heavens? He's going to shake the heavens by catastrophic warfare. You think that these people that's building up all these nuclear weapons, you think that they're going to use those weapons? And the people is going to die by the billions. So all these folks that's building these $1 billion bunkers, and they gonna reap the whirlwind. And it shall be as the chase woe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. So you got a lot of these Ukrainians that's over here in America, all these Polish, they're going to try to go back to the country, but they're going to have issues over there in the country, because them people ain't going to accept them. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. See, that's what I'm saying. They go back to these countries, now they want to be Polish. Now they want to be Ukrainian. Now they want to be Russian. They don't want you no more. They gonna destroy you, because they're gonna look at you as a traitor. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. All you cats that think you're gonna be leaving up out, think you're gonna go to these other countries and get dual citizenship, you're gonna get it too. See? Their children also shall be dashed into pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their women, it says, and their wives ravished. When you look up that word ravish, that really goes into the word what? Rape, y'all. War is not pretty, it's bloody. Look at the movie called Hailstorm. Hailstorm talks about how when the United States, I think it was Russia, I believe it was China or Japan, one of them Asian countries, and Great Britain, they came together to fight against Germany. And they were raping the women. They was killing kids. They was killing old women. Old men. They was killing everybody that resisted them. They had to go here to kill those folks. They were shooting. They was doing flybys where they was riding planes and they was shooting machine guns at little children. They was bum rushing houses. You know, in the Constitution, you could read it. In the Constitution, if the country is at war, the soldiers can come in your house and they can take over your crib. Now, what if you got a soldier, a group of soldiers that come in, because they need to lodge somewhere. They come in your house, and you got these old fine women up in there, and they ain't seen no woman in probably about a year. What you think they gonna do? They gonna take over that house, and they gonna do horrendous things to the women. And this is what World War II, when they was fighting against Germany, this is what they was doing. They was raping the German women. That's why the scripture says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Mean that what? They gonna kill the kids. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Let's turn to Matthew 24 and 36. It says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the Son, it says, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And see, who is the Son of Man really? The Son of Man is really the Tetragrammaton, or Yah. But in this aspect, The Son of Man that's coming back is the nation of Israel, the southern and the northern kingdom. And they're going to be under the influence of the Creator, and they're going to be ruling in the affairs of men. That's the so-called black man. But see, we can't see that because, see, every time when we look at ourselves as 3/5 of a human being. We can't see ourselves being greater than that. It says, as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating, drinking, and marrying and giving it. They was married to the system. See, they was following the system from an economical, religious, and a social standpoint of view. Until the day that Noah entered the ark. So who is Noah today? Noah is really the nation of Israel preaching the gospel of the kingdom. And what is us closing the ark? That's the Creator delivering us out of captivity. So when the nation of Israel leave the captivities of all these different countries, then the destruction is going to happen. Let's look at one more scripture and we should be done. Revelation, the 7th chapter. Let's look at this. See, we're going to be out here. That's what we doing. We preaching in the streets. We preaching on Facebook, YouTube, all this type of stuff. Some people want to hear, some people, they don't want to hear. And it says in the 7th chapter of the book of Revelation, and first verse, after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on the tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And who is the servants? That's the 144,000. That's the nation of Israel and the other nations that's going to be associated with the nation of Israel. Shalom.